Welcome, everyone. What we're watching, episode 51. Joey here alongside my co host, TJ. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, bro. Like I've gotten into at first I didn't like the music change. I didn't know if you know because I tell you I stand on business. I don't protest, but
Right.
I did start a petition secretly, anonymously to get the music change back. I was feeling that last one though, bro.
I
Like I
was
don't know.
too. I was too. I don't know. I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, did they change the music back? Because I'm feeling this. I'm like, wait, no, this ain't the old music. But I was like, did it?
I was I was like, oh, I was feeling it today. So it's maybe it's the jazz. It's something about it. The series coming to a conclusion. It's an energy today, man. It's an energy today. It's coming to the end of our Christmas in July, man. What I'm just throwing punches at the air, bro.
I got you. No, I
And
understand.
and and
I
and and
understand.
I gotta say this disclaimer. Danny Glover got his ass whooped. He got whopped. He
Several,
didn't have
several times. Several times.
he had no business. Oh, Mel
And
Gibson.
look, folks, I do this since this is a YouTube exclusive show, and we got our exclusive channel now, folks. Every time you upload something to YouTube, this is just behind the scenes. You can do it now if you've got a YouTube channel. You have to put whether this is for kids, and every time I put not for kids. So I'm just saying this right up front, not for kids. They were too old for this shit. Because
They
I can
were.
tell you what, uh 1998 when it came out, TJ, I was 20 years old and I was too old for that shit. If that shit was happening to me, I'm going to the house. I am going to the house and sitting myself down.
I was like, we're gonna get to it, and I am so excited to get to it. But because it was so catastrophic, like it reminded me so of one Kang the Conqueror and Scott from Quantumania, like
Yeah, Scott Lang.
like
Yeah,
Scott
Ant-Man
Lang,
3.
like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like Kang beat the brakes off Scott.
Right.
And Scott's only saving grace was being able to say, I don't have to win, we just both have to lose. Yay, Scott, you got the moral high ground, but you got your ass dusted. That's what happened to Danny Glover. Because Jet Li is a champion. Now I'm just gonna stop. I just that was a fight for the ages. If we were still handing out the MTV popcorn bowls, I'm giving that to Danny Glover for catching that ass.
Well, let's get into it. Lethal Weapon
Yes,
4 is a
please.
1998 American buddy cop action film directed and produced by Richard Donner and starring Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Joe Pesci, Rene Russo, Chris Rock, and Jet Li in his international film debut. It is the fourth installment in the Lethal Weapon film series, the last film in the series directed by Donner before his death, and the latest to be released theatrically. The film was released on July 10th, 1998 by Warner Brothers Pictures. The film received mixed reviews from critics and grossed 285 million worldwide, becoming the 10th highest grossing film of 1998.
I call shenanigans.
Why? Like 10 films that made more than it? You think it should be 11?
No, I find it funny that my feelings about the film and then where this film ranked that year, I call shenanigans.
Well, we'll get into that because I was looking more into that. A sequel. This is all speculation. This part right here. A sequel titled Lethal Finale is in development for the streaming service HBO Max. Glover and Gibson will reprise their roles as Riggs and Murtaugh, with Gibson also in talks to direct as of the last word for it. Lorna Cole is pregnant with LAPD Sergeant Martin Riggs's baby. They are not married, but both are thinking about it. LAPD Sergeant Roger Murtaugh's daughter, Rianne, is also pregnant, but won't reveal who the father is. Now, before that, all right, if you go to almost 9 months earlier, when they're just, you got homeboy, Flamethrower McGee.
Right. Flamethrower McGee. Yes.
Now, I will say this. They get pinned down. It's not ideal circumstances outside when they're doing this guy, and he's like, we need a distraction and all that. Now, I will say this. I did appreciate this because I felt like they did it more in this film than they have done in the past and in other films. Folks, I hope nobody is ever in this situation again in life. I'm just throwing this out there. My life and the life beyond me, if the world goes 18 million more years, I hope this never happens again. All right. Cars are not bulletproof.
They're not.
So, folks, I once read an article that says if you are outside of a car and someone is shooting at you, do you know what you need to do, TJ?
What are we doing, Joe?
You need to
far away from.
Well, if you can do that, do that. But if you cannot do that, you need to always keep the engine block between you and that person, because they say that's the best way to. Yeah. And I feel like for the most part, they did that during this thing. But Murtaugh strips down naked so that they can cause a distraction and does a little chicken dance while he's at it.
So while he was doing that, it may have been just me, but the scene from Buffy the Vampire Slayer played in the background. How funky is your chicken? How funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? It just played in the background while he was sitting there jumping around. But why they do? And here's the question: why do we have to start? They do an Avengers level damage in every film. Every film.
Thankfully, they do make that part of the plot this time around, is that they're having trouble being reinsured because of their destruction.
So we're going to make them captains.
Right. So they won't have to go out, and then they just do even more destruction. We'll get there. I've got big thoughts. All right. The officers and Leo Getz come upon a Chinese immigrant smuggling ring after running an ocean-going vessel aground. The boat's captain escapes. Now, Murtaugh's boat sinks, and Murtaugh and Leo out there, and Leo's like, my shark. You got to watch out for it. And Riggs is just jumping on the other boat trying to get it, but the captain escapes. Murtaugh finds the Hong family hiding from U.S. immigration officers to avoid deportation. They up underneath the escape, the tarp, under like the escape boat that they got out of. Murtaugh offers them shelter in his home, and their families, along with Riggs and Cole, bond. All right. Now look, Cole says to Riggs, look, there's rumors going around that Murtaugh's on the take, and Riggs is like, I told him to take that money a long time ago. Don't kid about stuff like that. But Roger, even before you figured out, like they peppered in a couple of little clues.
Right.
TJ, I wish he was real, because I come by there. I think if you just got in line, he'd peel off 2 or 300s and get out of my face.
He was just like, he really did pull a George Jetson, man. He was just pulling off the money and throwing it off. If you had just grabbed the wallet, you may have been okay. Because even after he had thrown off money to everybody, he still had a wad left.
Now, look, I don't know how successful his wife is. Okay.
Quite.
But if it's $2 million a book, you keep handing it out like that, y'all still gonna be broke. Because he was, like I said, he was just making it rain.
He was back. Understand that We didn't know what making it rain was back then.
I mean, if he would peel him off, TJ, I'd take my shirt off. Now, he'd probably pay me more to put it back on. But he just, and his other kids that, you know what? They're honest. Like, look, we just come by for some money. He's like, let me see some grades and all that.
Take this, get out of my face.
Yeah. Grandfather Hong is looking for his uncle, a skilled engraver, who had paid for their passage to the United States. Riggs discovers through Lorna that the father of Rianne's unborn child is Detective Lee Butters. The family is hiding this from Murtaugh, who would not approve of his daughter being with a police officer. Now, TJ, I got to stop here, all right? Because I've got to lean on who you are. And this is the only reason that I'm doing it. Several years ago, I don't know if you ever watched it or not, but you're familiar. There was a TV show called Fringe. Okay. And in Fringe, I should have brought it up before this.
Are you saying Fringe or Friends?
Fringe.
Okay, Fringe. Okay.
Yes.
That's a sci-fi joint.
Yes. This is, and there was a character played by John Noble called Walter. And Walter was brilliant, but his brain had been kind of scrambled and all that. So he had an assistant whose name was Astrid. And they wrote him as never being able to remember her name. He called her Astro, Afton, Afghanistan, and all of that, right? Now, several years ago during the pandemic and when we were going through Black Lives Matter, she clapped back on the writers that was disparaging things that people do to African Americans, and so much so that he apologized to her publicly. And she's like, look, it was never on you. You wrote what you were given to write. That is an actor's job. All right. So that was on my mind when they got Butter's name right like twice. I think they called him Biscuits. They called him Bitters. Everything. But that were you familiar with any of this? Is this just because I was not?
What you just told me was news to me.
Okay.
And I didn't know at first. I really didn't know why you were saying I'm depending on you because of who you are. But then when you started to talk, I thought you were talking about because of my freedom of words, because of how I talk about bathtub baristas and the Smug Club. So I'm like, yo, like, yeah, like it's words.
Right.
But no, you were talking about the
Oh, and I should say that she was played by a person of color, Jessica Nicole. I hope I was saying this young lady's name correctly. There's nothing on me, but so I mean, it's on me. There's nothing on her. I apologize.
Having gotten context for the point, there is something to be said about the point, and I, with personal, went by TJ for years because people couldn't pronounce my first name.
Okay.
I mean, just seeing my name, people would add letters that weren't even there. When I would have people pronounce it, they put V's in there. Like it just, you would get pissed after a while having to correct people. So being able to go by TJ just made it easier. And now that I've gotten into my career, my IMDb page is actually under my, God-given name, So it's like, all right. But, so no, I get what she's saying, 1,000%, 1,000%. And then also, as someone who likes to have fun, I want to be on mugshots. I can't wait to actually you all do a book that I'm excited about reading, and then I can be on Bathtub Barista. So yeah, like that's what's up. Go to the Patreon.
That's right. Absolutely. Go to the Patreon. That's patreon.com/babykangaroo-media. Continued investigation of the smuggling ring leads the officers to Uncle Benny Chan, a crime boss operating from a Chinatown restaurant. All right. Now, before this, though, I finally got to do it. I enjoyed this more than anything. Is that Riggs is feeling vulnerable and he finally goes up to the psychologist and it's but she's like, nope, I have taken too much of your crap for way too long. And she just lets him have it. And then he's like, and walks away. And then he's like, oh, I can't be put down. So he's like, no, I won't go out with you and all of that. But I was cheering her on when she's like, that's too much. You've gone too far.
Agreed.
They are introduced to high-ranking triad negotiator Wasing Ku. Chan forces them out of his restaurants when the officers show no probable cause. Riggs pulls the fire alarm so that the sprinklers can go off, forcing all the restaurant customers to flee. Now, folks, that is not how the fire alarm works. Those things go off when they are exposed to flame or heat of any kind. Now, if they had just done that with a lighter, you could have achieved the same results. But just pulling the fire alarm, no, that does not happen.
But I mean, for film's sake, that was a nice way to piss some people off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But for all the people just sitting there enjoying their meal, what did they do to deserve that?
Nothing. Look, there are a lot of people that don't deserve half the stuff that they get in this film. Like I said, we'll get to it. All right. Outside, Riggs spots the ship captain and tries to give chase, but fails to capture him. Ku later intercepts the captain and kills him as punishment for attracting the police's attention. Now, Butters got his guy and threatened him, said, if you get a lawyer, if you get Johnny Cochran, I'll kill you.
The guy kill you.
And that guy's like, Johnny Cochran, good to know.
Because if you need a lawyer, we're going to get you the dumbest lawyer possible. That's what he tells them in the Mirandas.
Right. All right. So this is the part where we're going to break down this because it's like 3 sections right here in a row. All right. Hong manages to contact his uncle, but this leads the triads to Murtaugh's house. Ku and the triad thugs kidnap the Hongs, tie Murtaugh, his family, Riggs, and Cole, and set the house ablaze. Okay. Ping, Hong's grandson, has evaded capture and helped freeze the others in time. All right. So they're all tied up right in a row. The house is on fire. All right. First of all, the group that does it. Now, folks, don't ever set anything on fire. Let me just say that right offhand. All right. First of all, and a quick tangent. If you're going to have an affair with somebody, don't go to a Coldplay concert. But if you do, y'all just sit side by side. Okay. Don't get intimate at the Coldplay concert. All right. Second, if you're going to set a house on fire, don't just walk out. Like, look, they're like, these flowers need watering. Those dudes just walk calmly back to the thing. And then the second group, they're like, listen, you want to take some pictures and some video of this house burning down while we sit in front of it? People walking by, they don't care that the house is on fire. They just looking. This dog ain't gonna walk itself. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Run.
No, that's too much expectations right there.
Right.
That I feel for Roger, but this had to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
This had to happen. I mean, we've had home invasion after home invasion after home invasion. Nope, scratch that. Home invasion after home invasion. Skip a movie.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, look, it's been almost 10 years since they done beat this house up. It's looking too good now.
Right. Right.
You know what we should do? Let's burn the whole thing down and start all over again.
Seriously, y'all living way too good. Y'all got this book money. Let's burn this thing to the ground.
All right. So this is my other thing. They all lined up. House is burning down. They're gone. Here comes Ping. Ping got the scissors. All right. Ping starts working on Riggs and Murtaugh, letting them go. All the rest of them, Ping, you got to let us go. If I was Ping, like, look, I know he's a little boy and he's Chinese and don't understand anything. I'd have taken 10 seconds going, What do you think I'm doing over here? I ain't just whistling to do nothing. I'm trying to let y'all. They're like, ping, ping. So then they run out of the house, right? Like I said before, those neighbors are just walking by going, would you look at the Murtaugh's house? Should we do something? Last time police rolled up in here, toilet came out the ceiling. I don't want a toilet raining on me. Look, let's get the barricade going. We'll get a human bed. Y'all stay back about 3 feet. Over on the other side.
Neighbor on the right still mad at Roger because he had issue with him last 4th of July. He wanted Roger to go in on the fireworks. Roger ended up not going in on the fireworks. That's it. I could call the police, but I'm not gonna.
Why not? Why ain't you gonna call the police? Well, first of all, there's that fireworks incident. Second of all, police is there. Murtaugh's the police.
Police, he is the police. Why am I gonna call him?
I don't have time to get into it now. Later on, I'll tell you about it when I got time. But there's a story that a good friend of mine tells about something that happened in the mid-'80s when he was at school on the day that the president was showing up. All right. He gets into it with an assistant principal, and the assistant principal says, do you want me to call the police? He goes, the police are here. The president's going to be here. That's how I felt at that moment. Like, no, don't call the police. They're here.
They're here already.
All right. So they are off. The chase is on, and they're like, they get the helicopter. We done spotted them. There they go. All right. Riggs jumps up on the truck and stuff like that. The long piece of plastic comes out, and Riggs is surfing on this table. Now, TJ,
on a table.
TJ, that let's say hardest wood imaginable. Right. You still only got about, let's say, a minute before that table is gone, because he is sanding that table down. Yes. He rode on that thing for a good 5 minutes.
Right.
A good 5 minutes and all that.
Not to mention that plastic.
Yes. That plastic held on good after it had given away.
Right. Because that with his weight, friction, and how fast they were driving, that plastic should have been gone. That table should have been gone. It was 2 people.
Yeah.
Moving magic, baby.
So Murtaugh gets up beside him. He's like, Riggs, you got it. Because Riggs had thrown the one leg into it. Boom. That guy's like, he's still driving. He's still driving. All right. So Murtaugh pulls up in that Pontiac. Oh, that Pontiac. Yes.
So clean.
He's so clean. Riggs gets on. They get in. All right. They still going. The guy forces them over. All right. Yeah. They jump through
a building.
Now, let me say this. There is somebody, folks, listen to me. Any type of business it is, don't matter, public, private, any type of business it is, there is a guy there that gets there early so he can enjoy his coffee. He can do some work without being bothered. All right. That's the same guy who knows the nice bathroom in the building. And the nice bathroom is not on that floor. All right. So Harold came in at 7. He got his coffee. He done gotten some work done. He done the puzzle for today. All right. Yeah. He done drank about a pot of coffee. About this time, that coffee didn't hit Harold. Okay. Harold done gone upstairs. Everybody knows it. Harold's our best.
Everybody knows it.
Harold's our best. Just leave him alone. He's up there. He's reading his paper. Leave him alone. He's fine. He gonna get his stuff done ahead of everybody. Harold is just finishing up. He done everything, but he's finishing up, cleaning up. He gonna hear some like rattling and stuff because he's like above it, right? He's a couple
right.
Some alarms have started to go off. All right. Harold gonna go back downstairs going, what happened? Where is my desk? Because you know what? Maud then fixed him the good sandwich today with the nice, the thick bologna that Harold likes.
Thick bologna.
And that nice, like, French mustard. You know, that French, with
on a good brio.
on a good with the pickle and that nice pickle. And he usually don't like it, but today she just put in just a little sliver of onion, just and the nice cheese and stuff. And they just tore that entire office up. Now, from the look of it, I was looking hard, didn't look like they hit anybody. But
No.
Harold's like, how long was I up? What did y'all do? Where is my sandwich? And then he don't even clock. I don't know if they have to clock out. If it's a Rick, right? He just left.
You left.
Call me when y'all get it all back the way that it was. Don't call me up until then.
So the question is, does anybody see him leave? Or are they concerned that he got hit in the accident?
Oh, no.
Okay.
He comes out like all of a sudden the elevator's not working, right? And the alarm's going off.
Right.
So he done took the stairs down 2 flights. He opens it up and he loudly he swung it. You know how you do that wide swing? He wide swing. And Harold just unloaded just a barrage of just profanity, asking, really, what the heck went on while I was up? A man can't even go to the bathroom in peace anymore. Where is my bologna sandwich? And he went through everything that was on it. And he's like, look, when y'all get all this straightened out and everything's back the way that we like it, call me. Up until then, I'm taking some personal days.
Gotcha.
And the boss was like, Harold, wait. And somebody's like, just let him go. Just let him go. I didn't work with Harold a long time. He makes a lot of money for this company, and this is not his fault. Just let him go.
You don't want the smoke, boss.
You don't want the smoke.
You don't want the smoke, boss.
And then somebody said, did he clock out? The clock is gone, the bastard. There is
the clock's
no
gone,
clock.
Linda. The clock is gone, Linda, in HR. Yes.
And the printer, the copier in the corner still there. They just gonna open up that thing and take out a blank sheet. They're gonna start a list. Everybody, y'all just sign out here. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna put Harold's name up at the top. What time is it? 12:53. We're just gonna say
up, Catherine. Just pay him out for the day.
We're just gonna put 5 o'clock. Yeah, everybody.
5 o'clock.
And you know, sometimes they make everybody write 5. Today they just put 5 at the top in that long line down.
That's it. Always nickel and diamond.
Is anybody at lunch? Linda, you're gonna have to stop this. You're gonna
stop. Right.
Linda, I don't know if you know this. Somebody drove a car through the building. They didn't stop in the building. Through the building. This is nobody's fault here. Much less Harold's. You let him go, let everybody go. When you figure it out, who was it? Oh, I don't know. Why don't we just follow the trail of destruction? Because it ends a little ways away. Oh, you said that was a cop? Right, LAPD at the top.
Oh,
Though Riggs and Murtaugh chase down and kill Triad members, Koo escapes. Koo brings Mr. Hong to his uncle at a warehouse where he's been engraving plates for a counterfeiting operation for Koo and Chan in exchange for transit for his family. Koo kills Hong in front of his uncle to assure his continued work. With Getz serving as a distraction, the officer confronts Chan at his dentist's office to interrogate him with laughing gas for more information, but cannot get any leads. All right. But everything else spills out. Your baby is having my baby, and your baby, oh baby.
Oh baby.
That until I watched it, that was one of the few things I remembered is this scene from the first time I watched it. And during which Riggs and Butters accidentally revealed the family secret to Murtaugh. Later, as they discuss what they know with Detective Ng, who has worked on cases involving the Chinese government before. And he recognizes that Ku must be trying to negotiate with the corrupt Chinese general for the release of the four fathers, high-ranking triad members that include Ku's brother.
Mm-hmm.
New information leads them to an abandoned warehouse where they find the bodies of Hong, his uncle, and Chan, the latter two killed by Ku after they served their usefulness. All right. Now, let me say this. What is it with these two always finding some abandoned warehouse?
They're good for an abandoned warehouse.
They're like,
good for it.
We don't have any leads. Any abandoned warehouses around here?
Because I bet you something nefarious is going on.
Mm-hmm. Knowing that Ku plans to use counterfeit money, the police intercept the exchange between Ku and the general, telling the general that the money is fake. All right. Now, look, TJ, if you and I are doing business, I don't want somebody else being in our business. It's just why I always hated the show Shark Tank. If you're out and I'm now dealing with somebody else and you time back in, I wouldn't take that deal if I were you. I'm sorry, you were out of it.
That's right. Why are you still talking?
The money's fake. Why you got to tell everything you know? Now I know I'm a bad guy, but damn.
Listen, I'm sorry. I mean, all right. If I'm with Jet Li's people, and I'm using their actual names now because I didn't want to disrespect Jet Li's character by saying his name wrong, so I'm gonna call him Jet Li. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If I'm Jet Li's character and Riggs come in and he says something about he just shut up. Just shut up. Shut your ass up. I'm gonna slap you in the mouth. I'm gonna slap you. Because what else can you really do, right? Like, all you just want to, yeah.
Somewhere, Harold is at home working on his puzzle book, and he looked up going, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You can't do nothing at work no more. And then went back to his puzzle book going, I don't know what that was all about, but it was the truth.
Right.
A firefight. So the enraged general execute most of the forefathers before being killed by the triads. A firefight breaks out between the triad, the general's private army, and the police. Most of the triad and army die, and Butters is wounded, shielding Murtaugh. All right.
He took one.
Now that brings back to when Murtaugh thought that Butters was gay. He goes, look, I don't care. He goes, I thought we could get together around Christmas. Why would I spend Christmas with you?
I don't care what you do at the holidays. You can do whatever you want on the holidays. Why you got to hang out with me on the holidays?
And
bring the family around with the holidays.
Butters is like, he don't want to see his. He's thinking he don't want to see his daughter and his grandbaby at Christmas time.
Apparently not.
Ku attempts to escape with his brother, who was killed by Murtaugh. Riggs and Murtaugh pursue Ku to appear and engage him in a fist fight. Now, TJ, what did you say about this?
Okay, so listen. Is this where I get to come in with the commentary?
All right, so hold on.
Okay.
One sentence, and then I'll let you come in with Don.
Murtaugh
impales Ku through the stomach with a rebar before being knocked out by Ku. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, so this is where I come in with some good old-fashioned commentary of the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the commentary that you would get if you're sitting at the water cooler or if you're at the barber shop or at the back of a funeral home. Good commentary. So, Riggs and Murtaugh are sitting there looking at Jet Li and they're having a conversation amongst themselves. They're saying, hey, man, like, look at this kid. He looks young and hungry. And Riggs is like, I don't know. He looks a little young. And Murtaugh's like, yeah, I was old. I was too old for this shit 10 years ago.
In the first movie, yes.
Right. In the first movie, I was too young, too old for this. And now you as old as I was then. So I'm older than that. Like, so they're telling each other how they're too old for it and how they need to walk away. But they're not going to walk away. They're going to go hit them. So they proceed to go and get their asses walked. Okay? Jet Li by himself. And again, his name is not Jet Li in the film, but I don't want to disrespect this young man because I have respect for him. And I know, even at his advanced age, could probably whoop my ass right now. So I am not going to disrespect him. I'm going to call him Jet Li. I'm going to call him Jet. I'm going to call him Jet. He whooped Danny Glover's ass. See, now I'm going to call Danny Glover by his name because he whooped the Murtaugh out of Danny Glover's ass. He whooped him. Danny Glover couldn't even act anymore. He whooped him. He whooped him stupid. That is the whooping that Danny Glover took. He wasn't even Murtaugh. At least Riggs was still Riggs.
He wasn't Mel Gibson. He was Riggs.
Danny Glover wasn't Murtaugh anymore. He took them L's, man. So respect to Jet Li, huh?
You think in the middle of that he's going, I wish it was that mama of that guy who got killed in the last movie hitting me right now. Or Whoopi Goldberg. I'd take her in that race on right now. She'd at least make it quick and relatively.
Anybody else. Bro, he'll take Daryl's mom right now. Anybody over Jet Li. Because Jet Li, like I said, he beat the brakes. When you get hit so hard that all you can do is just look down. You can't get mad. You can't ask questions. His hands was by his side. He couldn't even block. His hands is just down.
That reminds me of something. I saw somebody one time. They kept needling this guy. And they said he turned around and hit me 11 times before I realized what he was doing. The pier then collapses and sends Riggs and Koo into the water. Riggs finds an assault rifle and kills just hanging around
in the water.
Look, now I know in reality he brought her up, but in my mind's eye, I want Rita to be down there just like a skeleton now going, oh, look who's back. Married, you say. Wife having a baby, you say. Guess what, Riggs? Still dead over here.
Still dead in your jacket.
You're not getting the jacket back, Riggs.
I see the jacket back. Takes losing a hoodie to a whole new level.
It does. It does. It does. He never gave me my hoodie back. You need to write that hoodie off, my friend.
You need to write that hoodie. Rita takes that to a whole new level, baby.
While Murtaugh recovers in time to rescue Riggs from a piece of concrete that had pinned him underwater. Riggs and Getz later discover that Lorna is about to give birth and race to the hospital, where Riggs and Lorna are ceremonially married by Rabbi. Hold on, before she enters labor. Go ahead.
Pause. You can't skip it.
Go ahead.
Leo Getz got me right there. Ooh, Joe Pesci, you bastard. Showed me the range right there, man. Like, Riggs being Riggs gives Leo Getz a hard time for being there. Why are you here? Blah, 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 blah. Doing what they do with Leo, right? Giving Leo crap. Leo tells the story of the frog named Froggy. Damn! If you don't know about the frog named Froggy, I'm not about to tell it. You know why? Because I won't do as good a job as Joe Pesci did it. Look it up. Matter of fact, go watch it, because that right there, that scene, the way that man laid that down was so doggone powerful, and I wasn't about to let Joey skip over it. Shouts out to you, Joe Pesci.
So she goes into labor. Their son and Rian's daughter are born, and Murtaugh accepts Butters as his son-in-law. Hong's family is granted asylum.
I call shenanigans.
That they were granted asylum.
Yes, but I mean, look, it's a delicate bow, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm insensitive. But Murtaugh got dealt with some delicate hands. He broke the damn law.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he broke the law. Let's call it what it is. He broke the law. That's all I'm saying.
Although, if you remember earlier, Koo says to was that his uncle? When he comes to give him the glasses, this is a land with laws made by men.
Made by men.
If you got the scratch,
anything, no big fat look, and that's the thing. That's what we know. Anything can be fixed. It just, like I said,
where we also learn where the money is coming from that Murtaugh is just giving out. He's the ATM.
Yeah, because his wife is about to be Shonda Rhimes, Shondaland. She on Netflix. Have you seen that show?
No.
Oh God, Joe, we got to do that.
Look, I'm all about Darlene Love. That woman can sing, she can act.
Man, The Residence.
She can come over to my house. I'll make her some chili. Bro, whatever she wants.
Fans, if y'all want to see The Residence, let me hear it. Shonda Rhimes. I meant no disrespect to you either. Shonda. I watched Scandal. One of my favorite episodes is The Long Chef. I got so much respect for you. Keep shining. Woo! Lethal Weapon 4.
In early 1993, after the release of Lethal Weapon 3, Warner Brothers and producer Joel Silver tried buying a new spec script titled Simon Says in hopes of rewriting it to a script for Lethal Weapon 4. Written by Jonathan Hensley, the story was about a police detective and a shop owner forced to find and stop bombs planted all over a city as part of a mad bomber's revenge plot against the detective. The movie was eventually made as Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay.
I thought you would enjoy that piece of trivia. A script was eventually made. Gibson took the gig of rewriting it, thinking it would be more relaxed writing job than anything he did for TV. However, much like the previous two sequels, the script kept getting changed and rewritten over and over again. Gibson would end up doing more work and revisions on it than on all of his TV work put together. Production even started with only half the script. They were filming and had not finished the script. The ending was not written until it was finally time to film it. They did not know how they were going to end it. And Mel Gibson, up until that point, wanted his character, Riggs to die at the end because he said this is the last one. But he had so much fun filming it, he's like, I could do another one. The characters of Leo Getz and Lee Butters were not in the original script. Joe Pesci was hired and paid $1 million for 3 weeks of work, forcing rewrites. Gibson was 3/4 through his newest draft when Chris Rock was hired, which caused yet another rewrite. Butters was originally written to be a homosexual detective. When they started filming the police station scene between Riggs, Murtaugh, Leo, and Butters, everyone felt the character did not work. He was changed to be Rianne's husband and father of her unborn child. The two only share one scene in the final film with no written dialogue due to last-minute changes made to his character. So that's why. Lethal Weapon 4 debuted at number 1 at the box office with $34.05 million. Although the film grossed $130 million in the U.S., it was not considered a runaway financial success as the previous 3 films had been. Shooting began in January of 1998, just months before the film's release, with a production budget estimated to 120 to 150 million. Although Warner Brothers maintained it cost less than 100 million. and an additional $50 million spent on marketing and distribution. This made the fourth film the most expensive entry in the series. Its profit margin was saved in part due to a combined foreign box office sales, making the film gross approximately $285 million in total, making the second highest grossing film in the Lethal Weapon film series, behind Lethal Weapon 3. Still, like its predecessors, Lethal Weapon 4 was among the top 10 grossing films of its release year. On the go ahead.
No. I'm nodding my head.
On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 52% of 67 critics' reviews are positive, with an overall average of 5.9 out of 10. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film score 37 out of 100, based on 21 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Richard Donner asked Jet Li to slow down during action sequences because he was moving faster than the camera shutter speed and it wasn't registering on film.
That's sick. That's so sick.
The name of the police psychiatrist who appeared also in the former 3 Lethal Weapon movies is finally revealed in this movie, Dr. Stephanie Woods. The only Lethal Weapon movie in which Riggs is not seen smoking. He was kicking the habit during the 3rd one, and it is presumed that he kicked the habit by the time the 4th one began.
Nice.
Warner Brothers only took a decision to greenlight Lethal Weapon 4 late in 1997, realizing they had no big tentpole releases scheduled for summer of 98. In fact, production on the movie began in January, while the final third of the movie had not been written. Roger Murtaugh's line of "I'm too old for this shit" has made its way into every Lethal Weapon movie, only this time Riggs amends it to "We're not too old for this shit," as a sign of defying their ages. At the time of filming, Gibson was 40 years old, while Glover was 51. The previously unexplained source of the Murtaugh's wealth in the film series version is finally revealed. Despite Mel Gibson's problems later on in his career, Chris Rock has defended Mel Gibson by saying Mel was the one who got him the role and the one who got him a big paycheck. Leo and the main cast refer to themselves as family. This harks back to Lethal Weapon 3. When Lorna first encounters Leo, she asks who he is, and Riggs says he's family. The only Lethal Weapon film not to feature any scenes in the Murtaugh's bathroom.
Because normally Rod's in the bathtub.
Or on the toilet, as
On
in
the
the
toilet.
second one. This is the last movie Joe Pesci would make until The Good Shepherd in 2006. The only Lethal Weapon movie where Murtaugh is involved in the final fight. The only Lethal Weapon movie where the villain is featured on the poster and the front covers of the VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray boxes. 4 actors and 4 actresses have played the same characters in all 4 films, aside from Gibson and Glover as Riggs and Murtaugh. Darlene Love plays Murtaugh's wife. Tracy Wolf, Damon Hines, and Ebony Smith are Murtaugh's kids. Stephen Kahan is Captain Murphy, and Mary Ellen Trainor plays Dr. Woods, the police psychiatrist, and away Riggs' dog Sam is the 9th regular character. He appears in Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, and a deleted scene featuring him was reinstated for the director's cut of Lethal Weapon 3. Of these 9 characters, Captain Murphy was the only one never to appear at the Murtaugh's residence at any point during the 4 films. Cellular telephone technology evolved considerably over the 11-year course of the Lethal Weapon series. In the 4th one, they talk about how small the phones are getting so they can fuck you on the phones, as Butters and Leo says, compared to, from the first one, the bag phone that Roger carries to talk to Dr. Woods. In the opening scene where Murtaugh strips down to create a diversion, the scene is believed to be the comedic version of the same scenario from the movie Ricochet. Where Denzel's character, who is also a cop outside the night shooting a bad guy, strips down to his undies to gain the criminal's trust, only to shoot him with his backup gun tucked between his spine and the Fruit of the Loom tag. Director Richard Donner was watching old cop movies from the early 90s when looking for inspiration and stumbled across Denzel's work.
That's a good one.
Yep. As of the film's release, both Mel Gibson and Joe Pesci are already Oscar winners. Gibson won Academy Awards for directing and co-producing Braveheart, while Pesci won for a supporting role in Goodfellas, released a year after his debut as Leo Getz in Lethal Weapon 2. If the building in the background of Riggs and Lorna's new trailer looks familiar, it's because it's the same location that was Jim Rockford's old trailer set, James Garner from the Rockford Files, the Paradise Cove Cafe parking lot in Malibu on the Pacific Coast Highway. Although they would not work together, Danny Glover and Chris Rock would both go on to play cops in the Saw franchise.
True.
Glover played Detective David Tatt in Saw, and Rock would play Detective Zeke Banks in Spiral. So, TJ, before I let you go, my friend, it is time for us to rank the movies. So go ahead and give me your rankings.
So I'm gonna go. It's funny. It's fun because it's almost reverse. Um, Not a whole lot of fanfare. 4, 3, 1, 2.
Okay.
I like 4. I like Jet Li's bad guy. I thought he was like cutthroat. He was out there. He was doing that work. Again, he walked the dog with Danny Glover. He didn't beat up Murtaugh. He beat Danny Glover's ass though. And then I like 3 a lot because introducing Lorna's character in 3 was great because you had a counter to Riggs's craziness. So Riggs in a female form was amazing. So I liked 3, and then 1 over 2 just a little, you know. So that's me. 4, 3, 1, 2, and But again, Lethal Weapon. Love the series. It is, for what it is. The jokes are from a different period. You have to understand that going into it. You have to understand that because otherwise you're going to get a little upset. Especially watching this one. Some of the jokes that were made when they were talking to Uncle Chan in the dentist office.
Mm-hmm.
But but if you have that in the perspective, I think you can enjoy it. It's a good film. I had a lot of fun.
Or where they make fun of the dialect with the fried rice.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. For me, I can say that there are times when some of them like will switch, but as of today, I was thinking about it this morning. Actually, it goes in release order for me: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sometimes I put 3 ahead of 2, or sometimes I put 4 ahead of 3. I always think the first one is the best one, but it all depends on. But today it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not that any of them are bad. If you sat down and came to your house and like, hey, we're gonna watch a movie, we're gonna throw on Lethal Weapon 3. I'm down to watch any of them.
Right.
So that is it, folks. Want to tell you quickly about patreon.com/babykangaroo media. Just $5 a month for hours and hours of entertainment. We've got short films on there. We've got the Cup of Joe on Patreon. We've got the Joey Harris Super Show. We've got the Book Club Baristas. We've got the Artist Corner. We've got Film Club, green rooms, newsletters, so much. $5 a month. This is what I say. Try us out for 1 month. If you do not like us, no harm, no foul. Cancel after a month. But you get all of that. I believe that you will really enjoy it. So patreon.com/babykangaroo media. TJ and I have a bunch of good stuff coming up. Now we'll say this will go out, and the third one, as we're going, I'm going to upload the third one tonight. But we're going to be off for a few weeks because I am entering my busy season at work. and there's just a lot going on. But when we come back, we'll get back into the MCU. We'll do some movies, we'll do some TV shows, and all of that. We'll discuss life in a bunch of shenanigans while we're at it. But before I let you go, TJ, go ahead and plug any and everything that you have, my friend.
So when we come back from this little time, definitely excited to get back into the MCU. Definitely excited to get back into Community because we're getting closer to the Dungeons and Dragons episode. Haven't been able to do that one yet. So definitely excited to get back on that one. With regards to Baby Kangaroo Media, the Artist Corner, I'm going to be reaching out to the creator of Daddy's Little Girls to interview him for that, to get that started back up. So I'm excited for that. Me personally, looking forward to the breather because once I come up for air, I'm going to be excited because I know all of you are going to be ready to get me back on the Joey Harris show. So I'm going to be like expecting like just all the hits. So if I'm not on like 8 shows back to back to back to back, I'm setting the world on fire. You heard it here first. Let's go.
I don't know what to do with all that information. But folks, in the meantime and in the in-between time, if you have not done so, hit the subscribe button.
Blink, blink, blink.
Click the notification bell. You'll get notified every time we drop something. I'm going to be trying to, in my 5 minutes of spare time, putting some shorts of some of these different clips up and all of that, so you can see some short forms of the shenanigans that take place between us.
So. I think the Jet Li fight is a good short. I think that's a pretty good short.
Yeah. So we will do all that, and we'll be back before you know it. I mean, the way that the months go, they fly by. So we'll be back before you know it. So TJ, as always, thank you, my brother, and we will talk to you all next time.